What's going on, YouTube? Today I've got a special one for you. Today I'm going to show you guys how to lay your graphics. I'm going to make it as easy as possible. After doing this hundreds, if not thousands of times, I'm going to show you all the way that I've learned to do it, the way that I like to do it. I'm sure everybody's going to have their own way, but coming from somebody who's done this numerous times, I'm going to show you all the way that I do it and the easiest way I found to do this, where not only takes some bubbles out, keeps everything nice and smooth looking crisp, but it's really easy to do. You don't have to go super extravagant. You don't need to spray it down with water. You ain't got to do all of that. I'm going to show you guys how to do this correctly just by peeling and sticking. So before we start laying these graphics, guys, get you a clean microfiber, get you some Windex right here. They do not sponsor us. It's like $3, so I'm not going to really complain about it. And what that's going to do is, in the case that, let's say it's been sitting here a couple of days, something like that, after you put your plastics on, or even just pulled them out of the box, could have dust, could have anything on it, and those will affect the finish of your graphics. So put you a little bit of Windex on here, give everything a good wipe down. Do not use anything harsh like contact cleaner or anything to do this, because it will turn your plastics white. So the first graphic that I like to start with, we're gonna find our front, make sure there's nothing there. Give that a good fold underneath there, like a solid fold where it doesn't lift it up too much. And then you're gonna center it up on where you want it to end up right here. So I like that, where that's gonna sit. I don't like that. You see how I didn't line that front up? And then it's all about starting the line up perfect and then laying it's easy. So we've got that centered how I want it. Now I've got these two grooves right here. Now check this. What I like to do is I like to take this and rip that. So now what that's gonna do, that's gonna be able to let me start from the center and then work my way out. You can get more out of the way. And then that way when you fold this back over, it doesn't stick and try to fight, because these are gonna lay kind of wonky. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this all the way up. And I'm gonna get that centered just how I want. Then I'm gonna start from right here at the bottom, and I'm just gonna press right up. You see how it went off? Boom, you peel it, do it again. So if it's doing that, I'm just gonna pull it over just a tad, and we're just gonna push on the center. And that's close. That's about as close as I'm gonna get it. So I'm cool with that. And then I'm just gonna take my thumb and my fingers, and I'm just gonna roll that center right into place. These right here, you gotta be a little careful with. So it's better to push away than bring the material back to the seam, just because it binds up a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop over here where we ripped that. I'm gonna peel this up. This is why you wanna be careful where you peel it, because you're gonna have to bring it back up. I didn't tear that in a good spot. So, and now I've put a crease right there, but that's okay. Not super upset about that. And now I'm gonna want that to go right there along this line on the plastic. Boom, and we're just gonna roll that down just like that. We're getting some bind up right there, but I think that's just where the underneath was. All right, getting that nice and flat. And then we're just gonna roll that right into that crease, just like that. Perfect, no bubbles, no nothing. Nice and easy, boom. So with this one, I'm gonna want it to sit almost at the back, just like that. So I get my front lined up, and I'm gonna eyeball it to get me pretty close. Again, we're gonna do that same thing. Just get you a little bit and fold it. I'm gonna set it pretty close to where I want it to end. It doesn't have to be perfect right there on the end. Boom, and we're just gonna set that. I like how that's lining up, I do. And then we're just gonna pull that all the way off. And then I'm gonna hold that right to that crease. What that's gonna allow me to do is end it right there on that crease. So now you come in, start from the middle, and just work your way down. All right, so we're gonna lay this one real quick. I didn't mean to peel all the film off, but I did. And we're just gonna set that right where it's gonna fold back behind that crease just a little bit. Boom, we're gonna work that in with our thumb. I'm gonna go ahead and set that crease. And then we're just gonna run it just like that. And then actually what we may do is when it gets like this, you can actually kind of pull it down and work this material just like that so that it gets pretty close to the original line. And sometimes they can be kind of a pain, and then I'm just gonna press really hard on this crease right here, and what that's gonna allow that bend to do is bend smooth and set, and then we're just gonna start working from top to bottom on that. Boom, just like that. When you get to this front number plate right here, you can do one or two things. You can take it off, lay it off. I don't like to do that. But what I do like to do is I like to put that brake line behind it so it's not in my way. So that old Motion Pro 8 right there. And we're just gonna pop this off real quick. And you don't have to do this. I've just noticed that it helps me kind of align everything a little bit better to the way that I want. All right. So, okay, now that we've got this brake line put behind there, just for the time being, it's gonna kind of kick it out. That's cool, it doesn't really matter. Again, everything we need basically is just immediately to get this to line up. So you're gonna try to find that crease where you want it to sit. Boom, we're gonna press just like that. Everything's kind of, you know, just get it centered where you want it. And I like to start from the bottom here. Boom, I'm just gonna get this peeled up to that corner right there, just for the time being. Just for the time being. And what that's gonna allow me to do is get this set at the bottom where I want. And then the best thing you can do is start eyeballing up here, like get your corner there to there, press against that and get that. And then it's easy to line the bottom up once you get it set, because where you have it set, 9 times out of 10 is where it's gonna go. Now keep in mind too, with this crease in here, it's gonna come up a little bit just because it's kicked out. So always make sure you've got a little bit of a gap on the plastic here, because it's gonna wanna come up as we press this down, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now, this is where we full send it. You're gonna peel this all the way up. A little bit of dirt right there, but you know what? It is what it is. Make sure you're still somewhat straight where you want it. Boom, and we're just gonna run a press right up through the middle. Just like that. Boom. Now, you're gonna be cooking. It's gonna kick just a little bit that way, but ultimately, that's okay. So now, I'm gonna peel this side up, and I'm just gonna work my way over. Just gonna work my way over into that crease. It's gonna feel kind of funky because it's gotta go pretty far in there, but be careful too. So, real quick, this is a good example of this. Always lay your flats first. So you see how that is recessed and goes back. Get this going first, because if not, you're gonna get a bind up. If you lay down in here and then try to do this, it's gonna crease and twist that. So always get your flats how you want it, and then work your way into like a recess spot. Boom, and then we're just gonna work it in, top to bottom, top to bottom. Get it off in that crease, just the way we like it. Boom, perfect on that side. Now we're gonna do the same thing with this side. So now we're gonna start with this back fender. Boom, boom, boom. You see how I'm already kind of eyeballing where I want this to go. So we're gonna start right here at the back. Lay it on down. You see what I'm doing? I'm setting that, and then I'm making sure that I'm still centered right here. And it doesn't have to be like perfect, but I want it to be. Whoa, you see how you can press one way or another on this to lay it down and get it there. So now that that's where I want it, we're gonna fully commit to this. And then you can even stick these up like this if you want. I don't like to do that too often because it can kink the plastic. So we're just gonna ease it on back. Boom, I'm gonna pop these off. And it's okay if you get a little bit of glue on these things. It will come off. Boom. And that's gonna set absolutely perf. Just like that. So now that I've got these, let's go ahead and peel that up. Let's find our crease right here. Little bubble right there because it stuck down before we pressed. Find your crease. Just work your way down. And this is one of the easiest ways that I've learned to do this. We're gonna find our center point. I like to get those to line up. That's gonna sit a little high. That's gonna be where I want it. So now that I have an idea, look at my spacing here. That's gonna tell me how to get my spacing right on these bolt holes. So if it's back a little bit, don't try to line it up off this corner because you'll end up with stuff like that. Bring it back, line it off the bolt hole. Boom, we're gonna set it just like that. That's gonna be perf. So, all right. So we're gonna get that kind of close to where I eyeballed that. And that to me looks like that's gonna set just about perfect. And then also too, keep in mind where you're at down here. You want everything to line up. So if you're getting a stretch like that, you're gonna be just fine. All right. So now, I don't do all of these at once. I don't fully commit to these. You're gonna lay your flats first. Keep everything kind of peeled back if you can. And then try to pay attention to where you're at the entire time. All right, so we're gonna get a split right there, little cut. I'm gonna start working my way up just to see where I'm at along the lines of these bolt holes. Like this is gonna be back just a little bit, and that's okay because I can work that in, but we're not gonna press over this crease yet because that can cause us a lot of problems. So let's start to work this in. And as you can see, I'm always pushing away, or I'm not just going straight. I'm working down, up or down to keep everything somewhat manageable. Now we're gonna fully commit since we've made it to this point. And you see, we're pretty close on that. And what's gonna happen is, we're gonna take that, and I like everything about where that's sitting right now. And we're gonna take this bottom, we're gonna peel this back up. And now what that's gonna allow us to do is, now that we've got our top set, we're just gonna kind of work this in, not really pressing super hard on the creases right now, but I am gonna kind of work this back this way, because you see how this is setting behind, and if I work this back this way, it's gonna twist that in. And we may end up having to pull this to kick it just a little bit. I promise you guys, it's a lot easier to do when your graphics are a little cool. If it's 8 quadrillion degrees outside, they're actually like kind of a pain in the butt. But nonetheless, they can be laid, and they will be laid. See, like we're definitely going to have to maneuver that because we're getting a kind of a bind right here, but that's okay because it will work out in the sense of, we're gonna peel that now, boom. And that's gonna make our lives so much easier. Even if you gotta peel it back to flat like that, you get your bind out right here. And then what that's gonna do, like I said, that's gonna bring us back to where we wanna be. And we're not gonna press that kink in just yet because that's gonna push it too far forward. The key is maneuvering the graphic to make it set where you want. Once you commit it and you got it set, then you gotta have to maneuver it while you're working it in. And you see how it's like, that's almost centered up. And then we're just gonna work these out. Now, we're gonna start right here, pull back. See how it's kind of binding up right here? We're just gonna work that out. And DecalMX does give you like a little squeegee kind of thing. I don't like to do that. I feel more comfortable doing it with my thumb or my fingers. Just because I feel like I've got a little bit more control over what I'm doing. See, that brought it up just a little bit, but I'm not mad about that. It's still gonna look good. It's gonna set right. It's gonna do everything that I want it to. And we're just gonna lay down. We're gonna push that and do just like that. Sometimes, guys, this one can be kind of a pain in the ass, to be completely honest. It's because of the way the Cowies honestly aren't too bad. Like the KTMs really bubble out here. This one actually doesn't do it too bad, so I don't think this one's actually gonna be that bad. But on certain bikes, these can be a pain in the butt. So just be mindful of that, and always do like I said, and start from the flap here and then work your way into that crease. And then you'll start to see as it's laying where you're gonna end up. You know, sometimes it's gonna press over here, it's gonna end up over there, and then you just gotta come back and kind of maneuver everything to work out. I like the way that's gonna work. So we're gonna try that first. And don't be scared to start laying these things, guys, and peeling them up. Don't be scared to do that. It ain't gonna hurt it. It's DecalMX materials, tough stuff. It'll work with you. It will work with you, I promise. Like, see, I'm gonna peel that for the time being. And then, actually, I'm just gonna peel all of it because it doesn't really matter. And then I'm gonna start, got a little offline right there, but if I go any lower, it's gonna, you know, put me out of place with that. So I don't get super anal about lining these up. I mean, I want them as close as I can, but I'm not gonna re-peel all of this up to get that to line up. I'm just not gonna do it. And see, like, I'm going too far down right now, and I'm gonna end up with a major crease right there if I don't do something. So we're gonna peel this up real quick. I kind of went too far into this crease right here, so now it's wanting to push it back this way. So I'm gonna see, honestly, a little bit of that's not gonna hurt because you see the way it wants to fold over and go up. So I'm actually gonna work just a little bit of that into there. And you see how it brought that back? It's all about just making the material work for you. Now this is where you could end up with a crease. Do you see how I'm coming together like this? That's a real quick way to get a crease in it. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna peel that back just like that, and I'm gonna work this together where it all pushes up over here. You wanna be always working to the edge. Don't ever bring the edge. Don't start here trying to get something here, and don't do that. Always work out. You're always wanting to work out. Keep that. That might be some of the best advice I can give for this whole video. Always be working out from the center out. But as you can see, that laid flawlessly. All right, we're going to go ahead and put our swing arm graphics on. Now, when I'm doing this, I like to get down here. Boom, I'm gonna just center it up. I'm gonna look at it, find my angle where that is nice and center. And then I'm a little high. And then I'm gonna do just like that. Now remember, with this crease in, it's gonna bring it back, so I'm probably gonna be right against that weld. But we're about to find out, and you can always flatten that, and it'll get close to letting you know. So then, peel and stick. It's not crazy, it's not hard, just do it. And it's perfect. With these guys, I like to start at the bottom in this corner. So, do our thing, that bent and folded. All right, we're gonna find the way that that's supposed to set on there. So I'll start right there, kind of work my way around, see what's going on. So we're gonna have to trim this just a little bit, just because these plastics are kind of in a cut, a little funky. Like, I don't like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right there and eyeball that, and make sure, the biggest thing is you want this to be completely vertical. You don't want the Dunlop kind of rolling over to the side, anything like that. Again, don't stick that bottom, because we're gonna start from one side and go to the other. So we're going to keep that back, and I'm gonna run my thumb directly up the center, just like that. And then I'm gonna start working my way out. There's gonna be a crease in there. You want to follow it pretty tight. And then doing this, you're just gonna work your way around. Just gonna work your way around. I'm gonna get these slapped back on, and then we are done. After you've got all of these laid, everything looks phenomenal. Everything looks good. The last thing you're gonna wanna do, and I'm not busting out my torch right now, anywhere that can get dirt really thrown up against it, and what I mean by that is like where you look like it'll start to peel. Like right here is a very specific point. Take your heat gun and just hit all these edges. You don't have to worry about hitting the whole plastic. It's not gonna come off. But like, hit this front piece, anywhere that's gonna peel, hit that. Especially right here where it catches wind, dirt, all of that kind of flies up right there. And then like right here too, where a boot is gonna be hitting, like if your boot is, you know, obviously gonna be rubbing against that, it's gonna wanna peel that back. So hit these places with a heat gun. You don't have to hit the whole thing. You don't have to go crazy with it like that. If you want to, you can. I just don't personally, because it's just, you don't have to. So just keep that in mind. Anywhere that's like a peel up area, right here in the front, right there where the boots are, somewhere like just these little graphics up front, anything like that, especially like front number plate, hit that with a heat gun, call it a day.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now, so I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it, peeling off like the whip orange. Seen they effort, this piss poor. I got too much, I gotta tend to. Car payments and the rent due. Told y'all that I'm 6 foot, but with the money stabbing, I'm 10-2. Too much that I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in a black whip, got old problems with the friends new. Yeah, I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah, I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Boy got time, no cap. Made a few checks, but they all in the rest. Had a few friends, but they stuck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride till the hop in the back. 0 to 100, seen the rev on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues. Told them don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.